Ladies and gentlemen, Monkey's Wedding!
Why do I love to remember what I wish I could forget? What part of me just can't give it up yet? Go the words and that equates down, the sign is found. Stare right at the hour. What does this mean? Stare right at the obelisk. It haunts my dreams. Stare right at the obelisk. What does this mean? Stare right at the obelisk. It haunts my dreams.
After the first little tune, you might have noticed we have a special guest.
Well, more like special guests.
We have Monkey's Wedding.
That's right. Give them a hand, folks. Wow, and I just want to say what an incredible performance. I really enjoyed it, Spencer.
I really like the part where you did the singing.
Yeah.
I did really enjoy that.
And then that one part where you guys all went.
I did like that part.
Right?
I did like that part as well.
I actually disagree.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What song?
We just performed Obelisk for you guys off the last album. Came out in September of 2020, I believe.
The album is also called
Obelisk.
Obelisk.
It's from the same name. Album of the same name.
What's the word for that?
Title, titular song.
Something like that.
Something
Titular.
And are you the main man of the group?
Yeah, so-
Can you give us a little introduction to your special boys you have here?
Okay, so this is Chris Thorson. He's our drummer.
Hey.
Got Mario Benjamin on bass, Wes Cespedes on lead guitar, and I'm on rhythm guitar and vocals.
Who's
What
that
about
guy?
this dirty
That's
guy in the
Sam
back?
Barrett. He's our manager.
We picked him up off the street.
Oh.
Yeah, I needed a ride.
I like your
Yeah.
necklace, bro.
He does a very good job. I actually forgot he was back there.
I think you guys are all. I think you guys are all very fashionable. I like
you.
your outfits. I think you all look a little bit like cartoon characters.
What show do you think we're each from? Or what
Ian
type
is
of
from
show?
South Park.
Chris could be from Bob's Burgers.
Like Teddy.
Wes seems like a classic, like a Simpsons.
Okay.
Like
I think I feel that.
Mario, you'd be
BoJack Horseman.
Sam is like a Vice City loading screen.
Sam, I think I'd put, what's the show? Archer. Yes! Archer.
How did you guys start? How did this happen?
This is actually a very funny story.
Go on.
So it started as a solo project for me. I was thinking about maybe becoming like a music teacher at the time, and I was like, okay, if I become a music teacher, I don't want my students to look up my name and find this indie band from like my teen years. So I was
Right.
like, I need to find like like a name, kind of like how Tame Impala is just one guy. Kind of something like a name for the project. I put a couple things on SoundCloud, and then I showed them to Chris, and he was like, dude, you need drums. He was like, this is good, but you need drums. So I signed him on as a full member. We put out Obelisk, and then we got a couple messages about going live, and we wanted to expand. So I signed Wes and Mario on for this first release, the second release, but first with them.
The first album, you and Chris definitely had like a relationship during that. How has expanding the band changed that relationship? What's the dynamic like?
I'd say the dynamic is similar, but it's definitely more challenging because there's more people to work with.
I agree. I think that me and Kian still have a pretty good way of talking, letting each other know what we need to have done, when we need to have it done. I don't think that's changed, which is pretty good. I'm glad we communicate like that.
I got a question. Like Aiden said, you guys expanded and you're now a 4 or 5 person team. Who can you trust the most? Who can you trust the least? Like, who's showing up not on time?
Just because I already worked with him on a full project, I trust Chris the most. No offense to you two.
I definitely trust Mario the least if we're talking about getting there on time.
Okay, how?
Just like out of
What
everyone
have you
else.
done?
Just
What
like
have
out
you
of
done?
everyone else. You have been late more statistically than everyone else.
Sorry, can't be at my house all the time, so I'm never late because
Hey,
it's always at
whoa.
my house.
What is going on?
All right, so real talk though. Biggest inspiration, each of you guys.
You want to start, Chris? We'll just go this way.
Okay. Hey guys, I'm Chris. Just letting you know.
You might have to talk a
anyways.
little bit louder.
Okay,
than that.
well you can raise your voice at me. Ever again. So, anyways, biggest inspiration. I definitely wouldn't relate it to the music that we are making, but I think definitely one of my biggest inspirations is Tyler, the Creator. Definitely my favorite artist of all time. He's always carried himself with a way like of he's gonna do what he wanna do no matter what anyone else says. Doesn't matter who's around, he'll just do whatever because that's just who he is and he's truly himself. And he also makes pretty good music. I really do enjoy
Yeah, I was
his
gonna
music.
say, like,
That's
his
not
music
funny.
is all
His music is definitely good.
Kian, what would you say?
For me, it's definitely Evan Stevens Hall from Pine Grove. Just like as a songwriter and as a person, I've taken a lot of inspiration just from how he writes his songs. It's very, like, the chords themselves are, like, very open and stuff like that, which I really like. And then it's just focused on the words, harmonies, drums, and stuff like that, which Chris helps me create really well.
Wes, what about you?
Definitely, John Mayer is my biggest inspiration. Because he kind of just defies the fucking laws of music, man. You know what I'm saying?
What's your inspiration?
Yeah, Sam.
Skrillex, Korn, Imagine Dragons, Butthole Surfers, and the Beatles.
Solid choices.
Yeah, very good choice. That's a star-studded list right there. Mario, what about you?
I would say kind of just relating to the band, maybe like the Strokes, just kind of like how incorporating
Okay.
it with the bass part. Something that fits, but still something on its own, be like listen to and have fun with.
Aiden wrote down a question.
All right,
So
so
be the most important question.
yeah, I've kind of been tiptoeing around it. I don't want to raise any feathers with this, but I hope this isn't like a big secret, but I've just been wondering it the whole time. Where are the monkeys?
So the monkey's wedding name is not actually related to physical monkeys. So South African slang for when it's raining with the sun still out is a monkey's wedding. And I thought that it fit the music that Chris and I were making at the time because the actual chord structures and like progressions were pretty happy like the sun, and then the lyrics themselves were sad like the rain. I found it because I was talking to my dad. I was like, Dad, I need to think of a name like for the band. And he was like, I can't remember what band he was talking about, but he was like, yeah, this band just went through a dictionary of cool words and pulled one out. That is how I found Monkey's Wedding. Looked at it and I was like, this fits. I never would have picked it if I hadn't gone through like a super weird word dictionary and then
Yeah,
like
super
this
weird
fits.
word dictionary.
Yeah, it's on the internet.
So where do you guys see this going in the future?
This is what I'll say to you. It's not going nowhere. It's where there's no way that this time next year we'll be in the same position. I mean, we have some things lined up I can't really talk about, but it's going to put us up in a spot significantly better than we're in right now. With this first studio album coming out, we're moving towards some new, bigger and better things. You can quote me on this, Kian, a year from now. We will be better than we were right now.
I
Yeah.
feel like for me, it doesn't really matter.
You're just living in the moment, just taking
Something
things as
is
they
gonna
come.
go as far as we take it, you know what I mean?
True. Sometimes you don't want to get too
Well,
bogged
yeah,
down.
we don't want to be like, we're going to, know what I'm saying?
We're gonna be
I
the
understand
Beatles.
that. Actually, that's a great segue into our next question. A lot of journalists and critics have
Really?
compared you to the Beatles. Do you think that's a fair comparison?
Honestly,
Nah, man.
Honestly,
you
I
know
think
what?
it's under. I think it's undertone. I think that we're
You
better
think
than
that's
the Beatles.
better? I think-
Exceedingly better.
I think
in
we're
fact.
more.
If that question is real, I think no, except for our dynamic.
Are you
Safely.
Ringo, you ugly
Well,
bastard?
wait,
I would like to
okay.
say
Whoa,
Jesus.
all right.
So you're playing these great songs. When's this coming out?
It's actually out right now. It's on all streaming
How did I not
platforms.
hear
You can
about
find it
this?
on
Do you not
YouTube,
follow us?
Spotify, Apple Music. I think it's on Deezer. It's Monkey's Wedding. Tell me how you really feel.
Could you tell us a little bit about what the album's about?
Okay. Chris really wanted to do like a concept album. I came to him with a couple songs and he was like, yeah, these are alright, but I would like to follow a story this time. Because the last one was basically a playlist of like stuff that we'd written. So we decided we wanted to follow the end of a relationship, the acceptance into like finding a new one, falling into that relationship, and then the end of it. And
Okay.
then, like a little bit of reflection.
So, Chris, what's your perspective on that? What kind of stuff did you have in mind for this? And is it what you thought it would be when you first started thinking of it, or is it morphed into something?
It kind of changed a little bit because I do remember calling Kian and I was like, yo, because of kind of a little bit of a certain situation Kian happened to be going through. But I was kind of like, and I'm pretty sure Kian had
Art
also
imitates
said,
life.
Reduce,
It's gotta come
reuse,
from
recycle.
somewhere. It's gotta come from
but
somewhere.
Kian, I'm pretty sure, had already decided on wanting a release date on February 14th, Valentine's Day. And I was like, oh,
That's
okay,
cool.
let's do it about a relationship then. That's a good time, cool aesthetic or whatever.
And then you just go from
And
there.
then there was a point where Keem was like, yo, we should get more people. So then we got these fucks.
Speaking of these fucks, did you guys contribute a lot to like the writing of the songs, like the lyrics, or
Not
just?
for this one,
Okay.
because like Chris said, it was all written before we had
Okay,
it.
so you guys wrote it and you were like, oh, this would sound so much
So,
better if we
well,
had a full band.
Up until like the first album, like all those bass parts, those like key parts, all those harmonies, I did.
Yeah.
Like Chris laid me down some drums. It took me like 3 weeks to do like the bass, the guitar, the keys. I had some lead parts, the harmonies, and like yeah. And after that, I was like, okay, this is hell. Because I mean, it was fun. I mean, I like doing it. It was hell to do all of that on my own.
Yeah.
And so like after a couple months, we got a couple messages about stuff that really needed us to have to expand. And I was like, Chris, let's get some new people. And I started looking, and we found these two.
Just personally, I think the sound of it being live and all together, there's just something there. Like, there's just an emotion.
Nothing beats a live performance.
Yeah, do you guys feel that? Like, what's the dynamic while performing? Are you guys playing off each other well? What
It's
are the
definitely
interpersonal?
like we just watch each other. Specifically for the two that we're playing for you today, it's a song and then it ends with a guitar solo. We get through the song and then we watch Wes, and whenever Wes wants to end, we end. And that's
Okay.
kind of just how we run shit.
So Wes, from my understanding, you got these boys together in the studio.
I did.
This seemed to be kind of more of a home deal project, and then you guys got Wes, and then Wes was like, oh, what about this studio? Has there ever been any difficult moments in the studio?
Oh,
Any
man.
goofy, wild time?
Oh yeah, there's definitely been a lot of wild times, you know, especially, you know, our first time in the session, we had like 2 free hours, so we just spent time, you know, setting up tones, getting everything tonally ready, testing the mics. We had Chris on the drums.
Laying it down?
Yeah, laying it down.
Down.
We did beatboxing sessions.
Oh yeah, we had a
Oh.
freestyle.
No,
Yeah,
can we get
session.
some beatboxing
So
on
they had,
this?
Oh dude, Chris, you
So
trying to do some
so?
freestyle?
No, let's
Here,
go.
Let me explain where it came from. So they had an issue with
Please.
the mics on the drum set, so we weren't able to do the drum stuff. So your friend Murph hopped on the drum set and was helping them test the mics, and he kept doing this steady beat, and so Wes and Chris just kept freestyling back and forth.
Nice.
I go, okay. Okay. I got the 3 monkeys in my Jeep Patriot, and we're cruising down the street, not knowing what we're gonna
Hey.
get. Did we decide on McDonald's or Wendy's? We did not decide. We ended up going to Subway. Then, yeah, we were at Subway chilling. We were ordering our subs,
Okay.
and Kian got only lettuce in a turkey club. I was like, kidding, dude. That was weird. So, yeah, I got a spicy Italian, and I put all the veggies and all the spices on it. And my boy Wes got the meatball sub, put the Parmesan cheese on it. Was good. Yeah, Mario got the turkey club as well, but he put on veggies and sauces and couldn't get well. He was on the fucking toilet. He was sitting all there, and we were fucking, where's Mario? Yeah, Sam was in the car. Where's Mario?
Sam was in the car.
Sam's in the car.
Sam is in
Wait,
the
so
car.
He's on his computer. He's on his computer.
He's on his
He's on his
computer.
email.
How is he connected to the
I
Wi-Fi?
don't know. So we hop back in the car.
Pretty clear.
And we cruise down the street going to Audio Bay, and then we're gonna cook up some shit, and
Hey,
everyone's
hey.
gonna be like,
Coming in to the
hey!
beat like, what's up, hey? I'm Wes and I like to dance, hey. You come after me, I'm like on the lake, coming at you like a bitch, and you are oh, I can't say that.
People really want to know. This question is usually asked to many artists. Bleeble dooba doop, scoobity bop boop, badoom. Can you make that into a song?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Honestly, it was a real pleasure having you guys come in, play some tunes. It's nice to hear some live music.
And speaking of live music, we're actually going to end today's show with an exclusive performance of a song from their new album. It's called Lunch.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I took some time to think about me. Took this time to realize who I am and who I am. And I've come to a conclusion that makes a lot of sense, I think. When I don't like the way things are going, I go ahead and I pray. 'Cause I'm contributing to my own fantasy. I'd rather see a pretty picture than a harsh reality. And I got my eyes set on you. Yes, I do. Laying right here on the floor. Use my feet to lock the door. And it's this information is pretty heavy, and I wish I knew what to do. Maybe I'll drive to the doctor's, or maybe go grab some lunch. About how contributing my own fantasy. I'd rather see it pretty harsh reality. And I got my eyes set on. Yes, I do. Take us away, Wes. Thank you. Have a good night, everybody.
Wish I could, but I know I can't. I wish and I wish, but I don't do nothing else. The things I change, the do to just have